guys, it has happened. My name is Evdanito. It has happened. 1 year before my ILR, 1 year before my permanent residence, I'm about to lose my visa. I'm about to lose my sponsorship. Now, the stress that I am feeling is, I cannot describe it. Okay, let's get into the video. This is the channel for authenticity, realness, rawness. We don't act like we're making it on this channel. I tell you like it is, and that if that's your vibe, please hit like, please hit subscribe and join the family. Let's get into the video. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you about what I'm doing to try and keep sane while I'm about to lose my visa. And I'll go into the backstory of all of this, because I feel like as immigrants, we need to get together as a group and cry. As immigrants, we need to cry together in a park, meet up in a park and just cry about the fear of losing your visa. Because from the moment that you step into the country, you realize immediately how fragile your stay in the UK is, or Canada or whatever, because you're just one mistake away from having everything taken away from you. You know, if you, so God forbid, you have a fight with your wife in the house, it's a little domestic issue, somebody ends up in jail, deportation is coming your way. God forbid you have a little disciplinary issue with your child, because in Africa back home, you know, the discipline tactics that we use are different from the discipline tactics here, and maybe the neighbors hear about it, maybe the child talks about it at school, whatever, somebody ends up. It's such a fragile thing to be on a visa. And I've always been scared, and it made me very different in terms of my personality. I just was more filtered. I was less of myself because I was trying by all means to protect my visa. And anything that happens, if somebody says something to you, any little thing, because you're in a visa, is magnified at work, because you're just constantly stressed and you're trying to keep this thing, and you are sleeping, you're not sleeping, you're not eating if there's anything that's in the horizon. So it's a redundancy that no one planned for. A lot of care companies are going under. A lot of people have had to lose their visas as well. I can't talk about personally why my visa, for confidentiality purposes, I can't talk about why I'm about to lose my visa, but I can definitely talk about my experience and sort of helping people that are going through the same things, because a lot of care companies are losing their sponsorships and they are not giving people sponsorships. People are trying to get switches and people are not being able to transition to other jobs because of all the immigration changes that are happening. But we do need to still keep sane, and we need to try and beat through the stress. And I'll give you my own strategies that I'm using to try and keep sane while I try to look for another sponsorship. The first thing that I'm doing is this. Now, I don't know if you can see what that is, but all that is a checklist, because I noticed that as soon as the news came, I stopped, which is how I deal with most issues. It's a real problem for me, is when something bad happens, I shut down. When I mean shut down, I mean I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, I'm not cooking. The plates are piling up, the laundry is piling up, the bed is not made. Like when I get something that's like really overwhelming for me, sometimes like the depression hits me in the way of inactivity. I stop functioning. It's a horrible thing. When I get really stressed out and really depressed, I stop doing anything. And I imagine that there's other people like me out there who deal with stress the same way, because this is the time where you should probably be getting up and trying to look for the sponsorship and apply for more jobs, but instead I find myself going to the other end of the spectrum, where I just cannot get out of bed. And I've had many episodes in the UK of depression and just feeling like I can't get out of bed. So what I've done there is, with this checklist, I've just written down the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum of things that I need to make sure that I do within a day. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do everything that I need to do, like go to the gym and all the normal activities that I do when I'm okay. So I've just given myself the bare minimum, so that there is stuff that I'm doing at least to take care of myself, instead of like completely switching out. I'll read to you the 10. It's just 10 things. I do this 10 things and I try to tick them at the end of the day, and it's literally the bare minimum. Okay, so I recite my prayer. There's a prayer that I recite every morning. I go deep on one point on the case for Christ and Christianity to deepen my faith. I stretch or do literally one exercise. When I mean one exercise, because I used to be a gym buddy, but when I say one exercise, I mean like I'll do 10 squats and call it a day, right? I do one thing to move me forward. So I'll say maybe today I'm going to start up on an application. Start, not even finish the entire application. I'll just say today I need to start an application. So I'm reducing my goals for the things that I need to do. I'll say I need to drink 1 cup of water today, just 1 cup of water. I'm not going to drink 2 liters like I usually do. I'll take my my pills, reply to one person on WhatsApp. That's another problem that I start to have when I'm not functioning, is I stop responding to my texts. So I've told myself I need to reply to at least one person. I need to do at least one self-care item. Like, I'm not going to be able to do everything, do my skincare and floss and all of this. No. So I'm just telling myself I need to do one self-care, one life admin, and tell myself one thing that I did well. And what I basically do at the end of this day, I've only done it for 3 days so far, and it's working so well for me, and I think you should copy this. And what I do at the end of the day is I try to tick all of it. And some days I have 7 out of 10. It's 10 points that I do for myself. Some days I have 7 out of 10, some days I have 10 out of 10, and I've done really well. Some days are really bad and I'm really sad, and I've got 5 out of 10, and that's how it is. And it's giving me a sort of score system so that I can, keep track and make sure that I'm not completely disappearing into my problems. Because if you've ever been a threat of losing your sponsorship, I don't have to explain it to you. You stop functioning, you stop being yourself, right? So with this checklist, I'm trying to keep myself accountable to at least be functional. I'm not functioning in the way that I can, because with emotional pain, because you don't see it, you sort of take it lightly. But in the same way that if your eyes are swollen, you can't read. It's the same way that if you're really wounded inside, you wouldn't be able to go to the gym and, talk to all your friends, do 5 video calls in a day. You can't do it. So reduce your goals and make really small, tiny goals that you can do so that you don't completely shut down. If you usually drink 2 liters of water, reduce it to one cup so that you can at least drink some water. That's not great, but it's better than 0. The second thing that I'm doing is I'm not aiming to finish. So if I say today I'm starting an application, I'm not trying to do the whole application and finish it that day. If I say today I need to try and wash my dishes, I'm not trying to wash all the dishes. Or even with meal prep, a lot of us in the UK do our meal preps on the weekend, and we do all of our meals. So these days I'm telling myself I need to cook what I can cook. If I cook 2 meals on that day, I congratulate myself on the 2 meals and I call it a day. So I'm trying to aim not to finish, because I'm just trying to reduce the amount of pressure that's on myself and just trying to cope. And I'm trying to be kinder with myself, because usually I wouldn't be buying food as much as I am right now. But right now I'm just like, listen, I'll cook 2-3 meals that I can cook, and I'll buy the rest. If I wake up one day and I just can't do it, I don't have a car personally, I'm taking more Ubers than I usually take. So I'm just trying to sort of reduce what I have to do. I'm not aiming to finish anything, and I'm trying to be a lot kinder to myself, because as immigrants we're trying to save money, we're not trying to be wasteful and stuff like that. But I think if you find yourself in a situation like that, you may just need to give yourself that extra love, because no one will. The third thing that's really helping me is taking my supplements. So I have my iron tablets and vitamin D tablets. Why I'm bringing this up is because we are Africans. We come from the sunshine international of the country. Like, our countries are so sunny, and then we come to this country where there is not that much sun. Even if there is sun, you're probably locked up in a building and you don't see the sun, and that's not helping you. It's making your situation even worse, right? Because there is the natural dampening of the mood that comes with not being able to see the sun. So just not being able to see the sun is already bringing you down, and then you wake up one day and you need to find a sponsorship in 2 months, or you've gotten a letter to leave the UK within 60 days, the curtailment letter and all of this. So just you not having sun is enough to bring you down, and then this extra weight that's added on you is going to bring you down even further. So you need to double down, especially on your vitamin D, to try and get yourself to at least functioning levels. Okay, so try to get your supplements in. It's going to be hard, but if you just put them, I put my own supplements at the side of my bed with water ready to go, so that just if I'm just lying in bed there at the end of the day winding down, I can just reach for my supplements and take my vitamins and take my iron. Ladies, take your iron as well. That's gonna help you tons as well. Some people are talking about ashwagandha. I saw this on TikTok where people were saying they're taking ashwagandha. Apparently it helps. I am still trying it. I've been trying it for 3 days, but apparently you need to have it in your system for like a week or 2 before it starts working. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Usually when we have issues like this, we usually go into isolation. I know I do. Most people will avoid people, stay home, and some people are embarrassed. It's very embarrassing to now think, oh, now my company, we've been made redundant, or our company is being dissolved, now we need to do this. And so some people feel overwhelmed, and some people don't like talking about their problems. They just feel overwhelmed telling people, oh, this has happened now, I need a new sponsorship. So you're naturally inclined to want to stay in bed all day or stay in your house all day. You're just like, I'm going to stay in the house all day and keep looking for jobs. I need need to look for jobs. And it's like, great, but like you need to go against the grain in that moment, because your human nature is wanting you to stay home, but that's only going to make you feel worse. Okay, so you staying home 24 hours indoors trying to find a job is going to make you feel worse. Okay, so take the time, 10 minutes, to walk to the corner shop and buy something. Just go outside for a little bit. If you have a park nearby, just walk 10 minutes and come back home. If you can call one person. If you can text one person. So just try and go against the grain of isolating yourself in that situation, because that's what you want to do. That's why it's easier to isolate. But you will find that if you leave the house just for 10 minutes, even if you don't talk to anybody, you will end up feeling better. And that's something that you need to actively fight. You need to actively fight to get out of bed, and even leave the house, even if you didn't bath. Like, I'll do that, because bathing delays you from going outside. I'm guilty of that, because if you're like sit in bed thinking I have to bath and comb my hair, and push comes to shove, just put on your clothes, go outside and walk without even taking a shower. Just try and get yourself outside. Just try and get yourself some sort of human interaction, no matter how minimal it is. Now, for my last and final point, I'm going to try and say this to you, at the same time trying to convince myself, because I'm having to remind myself this as well in my search, because I've gotten a lot of rejects. I've been applying for a while and I've been getting a lot of rejects, and I've had to remind myself this, and we will do it together. Repeat after me. You will be okay even if you get deported. UK is not the end all be all, or Canada or Australia. It's mainly UK, I think, that where the companies are going under and stuff. So it's not the end all be all. Okay, like there's people back home that are thriving. There is people that moved to Australia and they started doing really well, and they didn't like it here in the UK. They moved to Australia and started doing really well. There's some people that left the UK, went to South Africa, and they don't even know why they stayed so long in the UK. Okay, so I think there is that hope that we need to remind ourselves. I'm trying to remind myself during this time. Every time we regret to inform you email comes in, I try to remind myself there is life after UK. Like, I'm not gonna die. I have the tools necessary to start over, and those tools are me, girl. All you need is you. All you need is you. Really, it's gonna be hard, but if push comes to shove, you get your curtailment letter, you have to leave the UK in 60 days. You try, you fail. You will not die. We will not die. Ultimately, we're not gonna die, guys. We need to just tell ourselves, every time you get a rejection email, I will not die. Most of us always have a home to return to back in Africa. Your parents will take you back in, like that, and you can start over at whatever age you are. And it's scary and it's difficult, but we will be okay if push comes to shove. Please watch this video that I'm going to link at the end, where basically I talk about the struggles of being in the diaspora as well. Thanks for watching.